I think they're just people who want to see Xbox fail. Regardless of what may be going on, regardless of what the reality is, their goal, their joy is if Xbox would disappear and become nonsense. Now, I understand. It's okay for you to have that position. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. However, it's actually detrimental when you have that position at the cost of your sanity and at the cost of trying to ignore what logic is actually pointing towards. Let me show you guys what I consider a problem. We're talking about this whole Activision Blizzard thing, right? We're talking about Bethesda and all the others, right? Well, Xbox has gone to acquire these particular publishers. They're going to be putting some of their games on PlayStation. And guess what? PlayStation fans have somehow concluded that PlayStation is going to be making 30% while doing nothing, while Xbox is only going to be making 70%. So thereby, PlayStation is the biggest benefactor. When you tell them that 70% is greater than 30%, it almost seems like you're being malicious when really you're being factual. 70 is greater than 30. This person replied and said they also foot 100% of the cost. They're basically referring to what Xbox is doing in this case. And thereby, because they foot 100% of the cost, PlayStation getting the 30% doing nothing puts them in a better position. Thereby, Xbox's 70% is now reduced. Let me go ahead and use their own logic to obliterate basically this idea that they're trying to foment. Number one, Call of Duty under Activision paid a 30% premium to 3 parties. Party number 1, PlayStation. Party number 2, Xbox. Party number 3, Valve. So pretty much with paying all of these funds and spending and footing the bill at 100% of the development cost, they were still very profitable. Profitable enough that their business grew so much that when it came time for them basically to sell under their valuation, they were basically sold for $69 billion. Xbox, who was one of the parties that was getting 30%, has now assumed ownership of them, basically with all their assets, their IPs, their bank account, the money that they were going to invest in future games and the money that they're making from previous games, and has now eliminated one of those parties to be paying an extra 30%, which is they themselves, Xbox. So would the math not actually say now that in the past where they had been ponying up, say, 30, 30, 30, minus one of the 30s, now they have one less 30% to basically go ahead and pay, which is now being kept in their pocket. So essentially, you can choose whoever's 30%, whether it be the 30% from Steam, whether it be the 30% from them, or whether it is the 30% from PlayStation, has basically been wiped out, and they wouldn't even feel it. Plus the fact that, according to reports, PlayStation is only getting 20% of Call of Duty revenue. So how can somebody come and still have this conclusion that somewhere, somehow, PlayStation is still in the better position with all of this? This is what I think the problem is. These people are very, very detached from reality. They don't like math. They don't like real numbers. They'll come to the platform and continue to go ahead and tell us how, oh, Xbox is winning, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're being a shield when you say that. Instead, PlayStation is actually winning and blah, blah, blah. And it goes to answer a question from one of my audience members. They said, VG, you're an educator. Would you please explain or attempt to explain the mind of a person who needs to constantly go on opposing platforms to share their opinions? Why can't they go on platforms that agree with them? Many of them can't even go to PlayStation platforms and celebrate the win and say, hey, we're getting 30, the PlayStation is getting 30%. Good for them. But you know why they have to come here and try to basically spin 30%? It's because in their minds, there's really nothing that you can actually point that's going on for PlayStation. PlayStation is going to end up being this one thing that some people fear that they're going to become, which is basically the 30% platform. They will not be able to make as many games and put as much product out there to rake in that 70% as fast as Xbox will, because Xbox is not holding back anymore. They're putting some of their games day one on PlayStation. Everything's day one on PC. They're putting some of their games with 3-month intervals on PlayStation. And they have all their games on Game Pass. They're going to be raking in money from every potential source available. This is it. In fact, somebody came on the channel also just recently, and they said to me, and look at this. This is, like I said, this problem persists on many fronts. They came out and they said, stop simping for Xbox, man. The point of the matter of fact is Xbox first-party games will come on PlayStation platform. Yes, and they'll make money there. While Xbox games will get nothing in return. That sucks. For whom? My dude. People who are playing on Xbox don't care. They're getting their games day one. It doesn't concern them whether you're playing it on PlayStation or not. It's the ones that you want to make cry that are actually taking the bait and crying that care. I'm a PC player. They're coming to PC day one to me. So I'm basically over here. If I'm interested, I pick and choose what I want to play. If there's an Xbox player that's crying and complaining, man, maybe they've fallen for your gaslighting. Great. Hey, you've basically pretty much, psychologically bodied them with your deception. But maybe coming here, I'll farm you for content. Easy. Also, another reason is that the market on Xbox is abysmal. How? Did you see the sales from Marvel Rivals for comparison? You mean those fake numbers that they basically talked about how they got them? And you want to cite this data set here? Because I looked at it and I was like, how did they get the numbers? And apparently it's a whole bunch of fugazi. Oh, so now you want to actually go ahead and be much more data-driven. Huh? Some of you PlayStation fans want to go ahead and try it. Be careful. You might hurt yourself. Don't do it. Before you go ahead and start throwing data sets out, you have to ensure that the source has been very well, validated, has been very well vetted. If not, you're going to go out there and you're going to burn yourself. It's like giving a baby a candle. You don't want to do that. So where did they get that Marvel Rivals number from? Plus, are y'all going to sit here and actually show me a live service game that is actually doing the best on PlayStation? Do you not know that that is a trap that you're falling into? Are you kidding me? You're showing me a live service? Do you know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to have a freaking field day with this stuff, bro. You know why, right? Because on your platform, if you want to sit here, this doesn't work for you. Stop. If you want to sit here and say, well, PlayStation is spending the spending on Marvel Rivals is $27.2 million on PlayStation, I will laugh at you and be like, yes, because PlayStation players are steady eating live service games. They're not playing y'all's first party games that you cry and scream about. It took another company coming in from China with a live service game, if this data set was true, I don't care whether it's true or not, to come prove exactly to you that this is why your first party games are landing on my platform PC. When your own CEO told y'all in 2020 that just because, here it is, he said this, and to put a few minds at ease, releasing one first party AAA game doesn't necessarily mean that every game will come to PC. Yeah, right. Simply because you are now here wanting to celebrate market share, not realizing that, oh my goodness, I done obliterated all my arguments about PlayStation exclusivity, my single player games, when in reality, the live service is eating y'all's lunch every single day, of which, hey, cry about the market share all you want. Xbox is in there also eating from you guys in that regard. Do you see how y'all just played yourself? Do you just see how two PlayStation fans just played themselves while trying to, in a sense, come in here and own everybody? Oh my gosh, that's 10x sales. Yeah, Xbox market sucks. PlayStation has basically become a live service machine for everybody to go there and deploy their games and make money. Granted, they make 30%. It's the cost of doing business. But by golly, are they making these companies rich? In fact, it also proves the second point why PlayStation is now moving 60% of its development budget into the live service game industry. Oh my gosh. Look at you guys over here citing data to prove me right. Because you think you're going to sit there and just, come up here and own me. Well, no. They're looking at that money going, my goodness, if it's true, which is, I don't think it is. But again, let's just say, let me entertain you. I'm here to sit down, relax, kick back, and let's go through let's look at data. Right? They're looking at it and going, crap. If this game is making $54 million, $27 million on our platform, We want to get a bigger cut of that. Why? We're PlayStation. It's our console, right? I'm sure it makes sense to most of you now why they decided that they were going to move their live service budget from 88% traditional games for the current fiscal year, and then move it to live service games at 55%. And by 2026 fiscal year, they want that to be 60%. Oh, sorry, in 2025 fiscal year, they want the live service budget to be 60%, because they see that everybody is eating good. The 30% is not enough for them. They want to be in the 70% position. You guys literally sat down on a Saturday where I just sit down and just talk about, you literally just help me solidify my points. You weren't trying to, but you ended up doing that. I got it. Hats off to you PlayStation fans. You guys are amazing. I really see, guys. I appreciate PlayStation fans so much. They are a gift from any direction that I look at it. PlayStation fans, they're the greatest gift for 2024. You guys carried the Video Game Fight School channel. I can't thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough, because you tried to basically drag me for these same things that I'm saying. Now you want to come here and show me numbers that are basically fake. But still, even if I entertained you, and I said, sure, let's take a look at it, you still end up basically building my case. Man, I'm going to take a screenshot of these two different comments. I'm going to basically just sit here and just use them over and over again. This is how you guys want. This is exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. In your bid to deny the reality, seeing as Sony is just like everybody else, you have basically walked right into the snare. Isn't that amazing? All you could have done in the first place was just to be honest. That's all you could have done. You could have been honest. If you were honest, you would understand exactly what was going on. You wouldn't have been something, you wouldn't have been saying stuff like, well, the 30% is all theirs. They don't have to lift a finger or put any money up. Okay. Then why do they want more of it? If the 30% is just okay for them. Well, I guess the 30% is so delicious, they're trying to go for more, right? So this is why your games are now very much more successful than you could have imagined on PC. Guys, this is beautiful, man. It's a beautiful time. Come on, man. Keep bringing these numbers to me. I want to see them. Nah, I don't believe them, but you never know. It might be somebody just obfuscating data that they found somewhere, or maybe they're lying about it, and maybe that's what the market share truly is. Maybe that's a representation of what the market share is. However, the VG Fight School channel, and I don't want to toot my horn, but you guys came here and you tooted it for me. So by all means, GG, shake my hand. Peace out.